Do I sound nice, Alex? Beautiful. Okay, cool. Tonight on Double Hammer. Don't change your screens, you're right where you need to be. You're watching Below the Belt's Double Hammer. Tonight we have a band with 3 EPs under the belt and a die-hard following, playing acoustic renditions of their songs, Transfix Yourself on the mythic and celestial Wych Elm.
Mother smells a baby with a pillow, living in an old house with boarded up windows, the victim buried in the fetal position. The mother left behind a letter she had written. I wonder who I'd be if all these bad things didn't happen to me. I must be the Virgin Mary to create a son who will suffer so much. Her body was found under a bridge. She was recognized as Susanna Smith. Found a rusty car at the bottom of a lake. Her children's bodies inside, but their souls in heaven. Why would you do this to me? I was your baby. You made me, you made me, you made me. You made me, you made me, you made me. This next one is from our latest EP, Field Crow. It's called Burnt at the Stake. Suggested to anyone. I tied myself up to a ball and chain by still being mad at those who have caused me pain. Down my spine, fell out my back a while ago. I buried the bones in a barrel. You are my secret, you are my weakness. Your touch is a burn, and for you I yearn. Don't burn me out. I had the stake. Don't burn me out. I had the stake. Will you kill me? Release my brooding greed. I feed off my own agony. Will you kill me? Release my brooding pain. I'll purge myself of everything I hate. Don't burn me out. I had the stake. Don't burn me out. I had the stake. You made a mistake. This ain't my fate. Don't burn me out. I had the stake. This is Plague. Grew up as a peasant in 17th century France. I'm not as diseased or quite as weak as you think I am. Dim pitchy skin, putting oil in my lamp. Sneaking out to find my old man. My ribs feel tough and I feel rough. I think I have the plague. I feel worse and worse every day. I think I have the plague. My feet are swollen, fingers numb, sweaty skin, heavy lungs. My arms ache. I feel the weight, my womanhood, of my fate. My ribs feel tough and I feel rough. I think I have the plague. I feel worse and worse every day. I think I have the plague. How much more pain can I take? How much more until I break? Thank you. Thank you for watching us on Double Hammer, and thank you for having us. We've been Wych Elm.
Double Hammer with Wych Elm. So yeah, who are you and what was your introduction to music?
We're Wych Elm. Our introduction to music was like we've been playing for a long time, since we were really young. I guess my introduction to music, I don't know if you'd say the same, was like definitely when we went to school and like the music department. Everyone had their department where they kind of found their identity, and I feel like we found ours there.
I think everyone was like joining clubs at this
Yeah.
point in school, and I was like 7 or 8, and I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do. And I came home and was just like crying and said to my dad, like, I can't do anything. And I think he just like raced upstairs and grabbed the guitar I just used and like gave that to me and was like, here, just like, you know, stop crying, like just sit and get busy with that. And so I did for a really long time. And then we started playing, well, we were in the same schools.
Yeah.
And then
I remember there was like this kind of fad for like the Rolling Stones, like everyone was listening to the Rolling Stones, and I like came home and was like talking to my dad about it, like asking him what he knew, and he was like, the Rolling Stones, like you were born in 2000, like what's going on? And then he gave me like all his CDs from the 90s, which was like Nirvana and Foo Fighters and Papa Roach and stuff.
And what was the inception of you two making music together back in 2016?
Back in college.
I joined playing bass.
Yeah, you joined on bass.
Yeah.
At that point I was much more into like shoegaze and like EDM and stuff, and I wanted to do more like synthy and like drum machine stuff, just never got round to it, and then kind of like got over that phase and then went back to like guitar music.
And how do you reckon all of that sort of funneled into the 3 EPs that you've put out recently? They all sort of seem to have found their footing and kind of go a step further each time. Kind of like you got the 90s grunge influence, then you go into like shoegaze and Crystal Castles, and then you come out the other end sounding like you do now.
Yeah.
I think a lot of your like inspiration comes from like, it's mostly books and poetry and things that don't really have a sound to them, so it's always interesting to kind of you write from what I feel like you think it should sound
it's
like.
definitely a lot of my songs, they're just like based off personal experiences, but yeah, I do have an affinity for like old books and stories where like I feel like I relate to them and I can use it in a way to explain how I'm feeling.
It feels like, and you said this in interviews before, but folklore, you sort of tie that with your own sort of experiences of maybe difficult mental health times and stuff like that. And like you had that song you played just then, grew up as a peasant in 17th century France. How do you take a story and then find that synergy between what resonates with you and what's actually contained in the story that you're reading?
I don't know, I feel like we all felt like plague victims during COVID, didn't we? I think there's a good level to like writing music and it being like escapism, but it also being real. I feel like you can find a balance between that, and at that point it was just very much heavy on the escapism. That's why that last EP was so themed. I didn't want to write about my actual life at that point, but I am now. The next stuff is a lot more real, relatable, in the sense that I feel like a lot of people have like struggled with the same things, and you can just hear a line and you know exactly who you're thinking about, or like something that happened. But yeah, there will always be elements of like storytelling and like other stories just mismatched, and this like weird narration where it's all a bit skewed. Even when you're experiencing something or when you're looking back on something, you're not really getting a clear view of it, and I like that to come across in the music because it just kind of represents how confused I am in everyday life. So yeah.
Yeah. You talked about the having music that's a little less escapism, a little more grounded in your experience of reality, what your reality is, I guess. As that music also yet to be released.
Yeah.
How are you feeling
this is
about
stuff
that?
we're writing at the moment.
We're writing?
We're writing.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited. We've played a few live and it's gone down really well. But yeah, like I showed one to my sister and she was like, instantly like, I really like this one. It's really relatable, you know, because I feel like a lot of people have the capability to listen to a song and the escapism of it and like still relate it to their experience, like to still get it. But I feel like a lot of people like sometimes listen to that kind of stuff and they're like, well, like, I'm not a peasant, I'm not like being burnt at the stake, I'm not this, that, whatever. But yeah, there is definitely a balance to it. I think that people want a balance to it as well. So
leaving things open to interpretation is good. Like it lets people make the song them like fit to their own lives. But also, I think sometimes people do need to have their hand held and be like, you know, this is what happens. This is, you know, this is what it's about. It's not...
I remember when I showed you, like, it's very different from like our normal stuff, and it's almost like not really touching on anything kind of pagan anymore. There's definitely like more of a cheesiness that we're leaning into, which is really fun.
Cheesiness in what sense?
Like we're, I don't know, so I started working at this place and there's like a lot of like kind of cheesy performers and like
pop hits.
Yeah, and like they have like a lot of like cover bands and stuff like that, and there's just all these like little funny things that they do. A lot of falsettos, a lot of like little things like
classic harmonies.
Yeah.
Easy to follow melodies. We're not trying to reinvent the musical wheel. We just want to have fun. Write so many hits. Yeah, and like a part of like the music we write is we always want it to be like catchy and stuff like that. We're just finding new ways to do that. And you love Motown too. I mean, so do I. But
I
also,
love Motown.
That's just cheese
and
factory.
But there's, oh my god, but there's just so much
it's
like
amazing though.
Good material there that's was just getting kind of reused, but also like invented. And you listen to these songs now and you just think that's like perfect songwriting, and like, where have we gone from there? Like, we almost need to just go back there and just like build on it more, because it was just so good.
What's like the Motown gold that, like, if you could inject, I guess you can inject, but what would you take from Motown? So.
I love the vocals and like the harmonies and stuff that they do. The song structures, like, they're not A-B, they're A-B, like there are different things in there that are like, it's like you play a chorus without the words, and or like there's a guitar and then the second one has the just playing with the songs and like figuring out like what the best way to, you know, perfect a song, rather than write a song A-B and be like, there, it's done, because that's what I used to do. And now I definitely like listen through and I'm like, just re-record until as good as it's gonna get. Basically,
find that evolution, like maturing as an artist. Yeah, you have I really like how there's a variety of instruments that sort of make their way into the song, because like you playing the mandolin just then, and there's that, I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of the balalaika.
That's right, balalaika.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sweet. I've only seen it written down before. Yeah, are there any other instruments that you want to really experiment with? Like, what makes a good noise that you'd like to sort of...
We've used accordion before.
We've used accordion. I really want to do more accordion.
Very nice.
I'm really keen to do more accordion.
So dark. It's very, like...
It's so nice.
Haunting. But even still, like, the last one, the guitar, mainly, we were working a lot with feedback, and, like, there's kind of, like, screams and ghost sounds that you can get out of the amp and the guitar, like sort of like recording the ghost in the machine, and that was fun. That was nice to kind of use an instrument that has been like exhausted to death, maybe not like a fresh way, but having like a different perspective on it. This thing that mostly people avoid, and like, you know, your audio engineers are like, you know, cut the feedback, but actually realizing that you can tune it and you can manipulate it to make it its own instrument, and like
some tiny bit of feedback you might have recorded might go perfectly like somewhere completely random in the song where you didn't think it would go, and like it is its own instrument. Like, it's so cool.
Is it true you're on taxidermy polecats?
Yeah, well, I don't know what they are. This is the thing. Like,
One's definitely a polecat.
No, it's not. Neither of them are. They're
like
too
big.
Ferret? Yeah, they look like ferrets, but they're very big. They're like extremely big. I need to put them on some kind of like taxidermy ID website.
Like, where are we on the ferret scale?
So they're like this big.
That big of a ferret. Okay.
Longer
like
than
that
that,
big.
surely.
That's like
this big.
It's like 2 Arthur heads stacked. Let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are their names?
Yeah, I got them in France. I got them at a flea market in France. Renee and Jean-Pierre.
Renee
Renee
and
and
I
Jean-
always
Jean-Pierre,
forget their French names because
Yeah.
it was my grandma's neighbour's dog. It was called Renee,
Mm.
French dog, and Jean-Pierre. I don't know.
It's just the best French name, right?
Yeah,
Like-
literally, it is. It is.
Are they an audience? Some of your like the first iterations of your songs.
Yeah, pretty much. I never really think about it that way because they're kind of just like on my wall above my head. But they pretty much are. They oversee everything.
They've
They're
been to
my
a few gigs
overseers.
too.
They've been to a few shows.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We've brought them on tour before. They're pretty lively on stage actually. They really make the crowd pumping.
Yeah.
I mean, if I saw Renee and Jean-Pierre, I would go
We
crazy.
should bring them to more shows.
You played the Charlotte Soul in the Brixton Academy with Idols.
Yeah, that was fun.
I bet.
Yeah, I completely blacked out though. Like I literally don't remember anything.
What was
I
like the
went on stage,
pre-stage
I came
feeling
off
like?
Very anxious, very scary.
Do you have any sort of like, not to be into the paganistic language too much, but do you have a ritual? Pre-stage ritual?
Yeah, we
Not
do
really.
the let's rock.
Let's rock today.
Yeah, let's rock today.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's an old one.
Yeah,
we haven't
it's
done
an
that
old
in a while.
one. Yeah.
We should bring it back.
Yeah,
I mean, like
we'll
now they've
do that
seen that,
again,
people are
yeah,
going to be, expecting it.
that on
Mm.
stage.
Big time. Big time.
That's
That's cool. And there was a sort of a collab song with it was Sugar Horse led, and then there was it lists
Yes.
Idols and Wych Elm as
Yes.
collaborators.
It is Connie Matthews, our old bassist.
Oh, they're not your
she's
bassist anymore.
incredible. She's not. No, she's got her own band now called Shania Twain Soul Massacre. They're amazing. Go check them out.
Shania Twain Soul Massacre.
Yeah, but she used to play bass for us, and she featured
Mhm.
on that. And I think, Sugar Horse like messaged her and were like, "Oh, we've credited you as Wych Elm." She's like, "Oh, I just left Wych Elm," and she messaged me and she was like, "Is this alright?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. I don't care."
It
It's
says you got
like
a collab
got a song
with Idols,
so
yeah.
it's fine.
yeah.
Then what is talking about like the sort of the folklore that you're sort of influenced by? What is like the story other than the Crystal Castle song? What is the folklore story of the Wych Elm?
So the story was that there was a body found in a tree by a group of kids, and they never found out who she was. And when I heard it, like I was like 17, and immediately that is like literally probably like half an hour later was when I changed our name on Facebook to Wych Elm, because I was like just had this, I don't know, felt like she's so me.
Found in a tree,
Yeah.
unidentifiable.
Unidentifiable.
No
it's just
hand.
such a
The
sad
hand was
story.
like 200 meters away from the
Yeah,
tree.
no,
as
which
well.
is why I'm still firmly believing it's because of witchcraft, because of the Hand of Glory. But
What's the Hand of
everyone
Glory?
thinks it's like where you cut off a hand and you like turn it into a wax candle. It's like a proper horrible like witchcraft like thing. I just like had such a strong connection. It's just I just knew that had to be our name. And it's kind of taken on a life of its own now. People ask me what it means. I'm like, it doesn't mean anything. It does. It means everything. I don't know.
We've had crazy synchronicities too. Like the first house I moved into in Bristol, we had an allotment tree space designated to our house number, and we went out and like every house on the road had a tree planted designated to that house number, and our one was a wych elm.
Wow.
And there was none
And
of
there's
us
no wych
in
elm
that
trees in
field
England,
either.
like hardly any, because
Yeah, they got
the
wiped
Dutch elm
out by the
disease
Dutch elm
killed them
disease.
all.
That's it, yeah. They only grow to
So-
size of shrubs most of the time.
Which, if we can speak a word about, if we allowed natural immunity, then we would have had a lot more woodland. Somerset has the least amount of woodland in the UK because it was all fell. They fell all the elm trees in like what's the word? Not prevention, kind of like what's the
Like what, like to stop the fires and stuff?
Yeah, they fell them all early to prevent the spread of Dutch elm, but there's good theories that say that if they left it, they could have figured out.
Instead of sort of rewild itself.
Yeah, so that's
Interesting.
why Somerset has so little woodland, because it was all fell.
You're probably one of 5
Yeah.
wych
There's
elms
a
in
lot of
Bristol.
history to
Probably,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
The one outside your old house. Cool. Second to last. What other like sort of folklore, like you said, you read a lot that inspires you. What would you recommend to people who are kind of interested in knowing a bit more about that?
Ooh.
It could be films as well, films and books.
Love films, love all Hammer horror films that are more like folk horror-y. Books are really good. Books are great. I don't know what wants to suggest. There's Black Dog, like the Black Dog folklore, and it's got like everything, every sighting in there, and it's all really well researched and well written. I also really like the Hellbore zines and the Weird Walks and just do your own research. Like, I literally love Wikipedia. I read Wikipedia pages to go to sleep at night. Like, there is also a folklore one. It's like folklore of, and it's all these different places in England and like Scotland, Wales, everywhere, and like it's all these different stories, and they're so interesting. I really like German folklore as well. It's really good. There's one called, my favourite's probably Peter Stump, who was like the werewolf of the town, and there's a lot of like, it's not even really folklore, like I'm pretty sure it actually happened. Like, read it and decide for yourself. But
what's his name again?
Peter Stump.
Peter Stump.
But I'm pretty sure he was a werewolf.
Also John Dee and his relationship with Elizabeth I. Like, this country was built on court astrologers and magicians. The British Empire came from an obsidian mirror, reading in Latin backwards. Like, Rene Descartes discovered like modern mathematics through a dream, and an angel came to him. The benzene ring came to the guy, discovered it like dreaming on a bus from an angel. Like, all of our history is like deep rooted in magic. I think just look through the Renaissance, the Dead Sea Scrolls, Gnosticism, Hermeticism, all of these things are like very, very deeply ingrained in like our culture now. The names of the days of the week, they're all planet names. Like, everything we do is very like there's a lot of lore behind it, I think.
And once you start seeing it, like, you can't
see
unsee
it everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's like embedded into the very fabric of the country and
our existence.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Lastly, what's your message for the people?
We have a gig on the 1st of November in Manchester with Duvet. Please come, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We'd love to see you there. And watch this space, big things coming.
Boom. Double hammer.
Great, thank you.
Woo!
Thank
There we go.
you.